Oh god, dude, Tom Segura is so fucking funny.
Yeah,
I can't handle
genius, man. I want to see him live.
Like, there's like, okay, I like Joe Rogan's podcast. I don't like his stand-ups.
Yeah,
I don't think they're that funny.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
watched
tries
his
too
new
hard.
one. I watched his new one. It was just
Well, he's like, it's like, okay, I recognize his talent. It's like Eminem. Like, I recognize Eminem's talent, but I don't listen to Eminem like ever.
oh really?
Really? Yeah. I don't identify with anything that he's talking about.
I can't wait for his new CD.
But like, there's not an Eminem song that I'm like, holy shit, like that was weak. Like I'm always like,
Oh,
holy
yeah,
shit,
they're- you can't-
he's hard as fuck. Like
does-
every time I listen to an Eminem song, I'm like, wow, that was crazy the way he put those vocals together. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not listening to him.
Yeah, it doesn't relate to you at all.
Right.
It's just-
Exactly. So I'm just like, yeah. I've never been a white guy full around an entire black neighborhood and had to like fight through it.
Yeah.
I'm like a privileged white dude from the suburbs in Northwest Washington, you know?
Things are easy. How do you rap about that?
Yeah. Oh man, today
I had everything I wanted. I got all 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I've never ridden public transportation. You know, I mean, like I've never ridden the bus. So like no one cares about the like pains and struggles that has occurred in my life. So like I feel like Joe Rogan's the same way where like I can see his stand-ups and go, "Wow, I understand what he's trying to do there." I just don't think it's that funny.
Yeah.
But like Hannibal Buress, Tom Segura, and like Louis C.K., like no matter who you are, like I'm like that shit's fucking funny.
I feel like if I knew Joe Rogan stand up back in high school, I would have thought it was funny.
Really? I don't know if I would have.
Yeah, I don't know. He yells a lot.
Yeah. And he's like, it's fucking aliens. You know, like, and he says like shit like we're all fucking cave people.
The worst part
you know,
about-
and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I can see where you're going with that. That's kind of funny, but like, I'm not vibing with that at all. Like,
Yeah, the worst part about his podcast is his intro and outro where he's himself, where he's just fucking annoying.
you're so right about that too. Like,
I hate it.
I immediately skip all of his ads too because he's like, hey,
10 minutes.
hey, what's up, motherfuckers? I'm like, just stop all of this, please. Just be yourself. Like, this is not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
This is. I am
Skip
not the
9
droid
minutes
you're
in.
looking for.
Well,
like,
if you think about when you watch his podcast, what are you mostly laughing at? His guests.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like
You know-
No,
There's sometimes he says something funny, but not like
you know what he's really good at
in-depth
with his podcast though? What Joe Rogan does in his podcast is really like perfect is he keeps his guests talking.
yeah.
And he puts them in whatever direction he wants them. And if there's like a lull, you can see it's like a millisecond long, and then
Yeah.
he'll like change subjects.
Well, yeah, he's
and
good
I
at
saw,
filling the void. for
right.
sure.
And yesterday he was who's the fucking guitarist and lead singer from Metallica?
I only know Lars Ulrich or whatever.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I fucking forgot his name because I don't listen to Metallica, obviously. But he had him on yesterday, and he's like the most boring person to have on a podcast ever. Like he's not
Really?
funny at all, and he's like a heavy like metal rocker guy who is like old now, you know. So like he's like settled down. And he has a wife, and he lives in Colorado.
James Hetfield?
Yeah. And he's like
That's not who I was thinking.
lives in Colorado, and he's like a hunter, and like he has a ranch, and he stays to himself and doesn't live in LA or anything anymore, which is exactly how I would handle it if I've been wildly famous since my early 20s and then I was in 50s now, and I'm like, I just don't want people around me. Like I can definitely see me
Yeah.
being that way.
Yeah.
However, being a guest on a podcast probably wouldn't be my move because I'm boring now.
Yeah,
Like if you had me on your podcast and you were like, so tell me about your life, I'd be like, I don't know, like I go to the gym.
yeah, but living that life, you probably have like so many crazy stories and shit. Of like
Yeah, but they
crazy
didn't
things-
talk about that.
Well, that's what's weird. That's like, if you're not talking about that, then like,
But that wasn't Joe Rogan's fault. Like Joe Rogan was like trying to like gear him in that direction. And it was like there was like this controversy because he like does the voiceover for this hunting program, and this guy like kills a grizzly bear, and like everyone was like, there's no need to kill it, like you're not going to use the meat for anything, blah blah blah. And they were like after him, and they were saying they're never going to buy a Metallica CD again
what the fuck?
because he did the voiceover for this hunting show. And
That makes no sense.
yeah, and they were like, oh, you support the death of animals and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I do.
And you know, so like he was like talking about that. So Joe Rogan was like, "Don't tell me about that." And he was like, "Yeah, well, people are stupid." You know, it's just like a total like Mitch answer.
Has no
And
care.
it's like,
Doesn't care if people are what people say. Yeah, when
Yeah.
you're that old and you've heard it all before, you're probably like
just like, yeah, whatever. I'm fucking on here
gloss
because
over
I have a new album coming out, and I guess I'm trying to get some publicity. But my normal fans will buy it, and the new people won't. So I guess this doesn't really matter. But my publicist, said I had to do something, right? Like that's how it kind of felt, and that shit was fucking infuriating. But like,
Well, I'll remember to stay away from that. Not listen to that.
literally, I listened like 20 minutes of it, and I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore. And I turned it to the Tom Segura one, and then I listened to that for like most of the day, and then it got over, and then I was like, I'm gonna listen to that Joey Diaz one again, because whenever Joey Diaz is on there, I'm like, hell yeah, that dude is hella fucking funny.
They click together really well too.
Yeah, because they've known each other for so fucking
Yeah.
long, and like Joe knows
So
all of his
natural.
stories, so he's
Yeah.
like, it would be like if we had John here.
And they know all their friends. They have mutual friends, and they always do stuff together. So it's-
Yeah. So they're like
natural.
talking about this guy, and I'm like, who is this comedian? But what's really intriguing about that is they use their podcast as like a platform, right? To promote each other and
Oh,
like
yeah.
get promotions for their shows. So there'll be like a stand-up comedian they're talking about who's fucking hilarious, and I'm like, I've never heard of this dude. So like I Google him, and then I watch a few of his stand-ups, right? And then I just paid that guy.
Yeah.
Because some guy on a podcast that was, not even that entertaining at that moment said a person's name, and I was like, who is this? That's super powerful.
Yeah, well,